Enterprise, T. Michelle Birdsong in New York City. I'm the lady who tells you about the past lives of some people. This is part 2 of What's So Great About Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You see a picture of Dr. King being as Lou Renzinger. This is his new birth. And he's great. He's my grandson, so I know him. Okay, what do we have here? What's so great about Dr. King? I think I'll leave a picture, camera on him. He inspired people. See former President George Washington now being as Glenn Beck's rally to restore honor. Okay, and he gave a respectability. This is what's so great about Dr. King. He gave a respectability to being a Negro, to being an American black. See Doris Miller's honor. Naval aircraft carrier from the NewYorkTimes.com. Navy aircraft carrier to be named for Black Pearl Harbor veteran. Doris Miller was the first Negro American black man to receive the Navy Cross for his bravery during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Doris Miller, whose official duties included cooking and shining shoes, operated an anti-aircraft machine gun during the attack on Pearl Harbor. I think he is an American hero because he went beyond what was expected of someone of his rank, said Doreen Ravenscroft, a team leader for the Doris Miller Memorial. She said that on Saturday. His human instinct was to defend his team on board the West Virginia and the United States. He certainly deserves the honor. Photo via Associated Press not shown here, showing former sailors salute a statue of Doris Miller during a 2017 unveiling ceremony in Waco, Texas. Doris Miller enlisted in the Navy in 1939 when black sailors were not allowed to serve in combat positions. He was also a boxing champ on the ship. Because of his build, when the attack was going on, Mr. Miller, then 22, was assigned to carry wounded soldiers to safety. I think since I was talking about Dr. King inspiring credibility to being black, I think I'll leave the camera on him because this hero, Doris Miller, is receiving credibility because of Dr. King, in my opinion. Okay, and also he certainly deserved that. That's the point, yes. An officer ordered Mr. Miller to help Captain Mervyn L. Binion on the bridge. According to the Navy, Captain Binion died of his injuries. With no prior training, Mr. Miller then operated a .50 caliber Browning anti-aircraft machine gun until he ran out of ammunition and was ordered to abandon ship, the Navy said. It wasn't hard, Mr. Miller recalled, according to the Naval History and Heritage Command website. I just pulled the trigger, and she worked fine. I had watched the others with these guns. I guess I fired her for about 15 minutes. He said he thought he got an enemy plane, adding, they were diving pretty close to us. Of the 1,541 men aboard the ship at the time, 130 were killed and 52 were wounded. Mr. Miller later served on the Indianapolis and then the escort carrier Lipscomb Bay. In 1943, he was killed during the Battle of Macon when a Japanese torpedo sank the Lipscomb Bay, according to the Defense Department. He was posthumously awarded the Purple Heart. Mr. Miller, whose image was used in recruiting posters, has been honored in different ways over the years. Schools, buildings, and at least one neighborhood have been named after the crewman. In 2001, the actor Cuba Gooding Jr. played Mr. Miller in the World War II movie Pearl Harbor. And in Bill Spear, a white homosexual, the stepfather of my husband, shot in his pants when his ship, the USS Tennessee, was under attack. Just goes to show we're all different. We're individuals. Dr. King gave Black Americans the opportunity to be outstanding beings as humans and to be publicly recognized for our achievements. Okay. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Statue, Wikipedia. National Cathedral, Washington, D.C. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that, said Dr. King. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial is located in West Potomac Park next to the National Mall in Washington, D.C., United States. It covers 4 acres and includes the Stone of Hope, a granite statue of Civil Rights Movement leader Martin Luther King, carved by sculptor. This is his name. This is his sculptor's name. I'm not going to try to say it. Okay. And pure stone decoded. ST for ST and Saint. ONE for one. Saint one. One saint. He was. Dr. King, a hero. The inspiration for the memorial design is a line from Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. The memorial opened, well, let's decode stone. ST for saint, ONE for one. Saint one of hope. Dr. King was a saint who gave us hope. More than hope, he changed the law. He gave us freedom. Okay, so on the memorial opened to the public on August 22nd, 2011. It was Edwin Birdsong, my husband's birthday, August 22nd. We met at a Martin Luther King rally to mourn his loss, Dr. King's loss, April 9th, 1968, my birthday, in Central Park. Edwin passed away on Dr. King's Day, January 21st, 2019. Dr. King has been reborn as my grandson, Lou Ranzinger. As I told you earlier, one day walking up the aisle of the airplane I was working on as an American Airlines stewardess in 1967, I thought to myself, I owe this great job to Dr. King. At that time, the airline industry was a high-class operation. John H. Johnson, publisher of Jet and Ebony magazine, was on my flight. He sat in first class. I chatted with him for quite a while. In fact, the white man behind said, "Can you give me some attention now, stewardess?" So, I was biased. I was giving Mr. Johnson all the attention. So I stopped and I paid some attention to the rest of my passengers. The star of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and It's a Wonderful Life, James Stewart, flew with me. I made a baby, Robin Michelle Birdsong, in the first-class cabin with Stevie Wonder without physical sex as it's practiced today. The training to become a stewardess was intense at American Airlines Stewardess College in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. Even to be accepted as a student was tough. Let me show you this picture first of all. This is me, and it says standing in the doorway of an American Airlines 727 jet with her flying buddies. She and her roommate, far right, Vicki Gatlin, were some of the first black stewardesses hired by a national airline. Okay, so you couldn't get a job as an airline stewardess with American Airlines. They were known for having beautiful stewardesses. You couldn't be fat or plump. You had to have perfect teeth, a high school diploma, be unmarried. They had French hairstylists come to the stewardess college to cut and style, and in the case of Vicki, straighten our hair. They showed us our best colors to wear. Then there were lessons in first aid, the parts of the airplane and their functions, how to remember passengers' names, how to serve meals with grace. It was about elegance and politeness and cheerfulness. President Kennedy's sister was on my flight too. I survived 2 near misses. The skies are too crowded. That is why planes and helicopters are destined to be banned, except for royals and heads of state and emergency medical personnel. And SpaceX will have to dismantle its satellites. Elon Musk has no right to